Welcome back to another exciting version of Hamilton's Computer Lifestyles. If you're just flicking through the stations right now, stop right there because you've got a chance to enhance your computerology, whatever computerology is. This evening, what we're going to do is for the people that are just learning what their computer is all about, go to your computer right now, flick it on, and we're going to show you a couple of special commands in the disk operating system. As you know, people that are just first tuning into our station here, we're a computer show dedicated to assist Hamilton's people in learning about technology. Technology's really taken on a lot of different forms these days, and it's really important for everybody to get involved because, of course, this means our future. So all of you that have computers, hopefully you've got them turned on because I'm going to start showing you some commands. First command that you should put into your computer once you start up your computer is the time and the date. Many people that just buy a computer don't know exactly what to do with the computer. And this is where the prompt comes in, and that's usually what you've got at the top left-hand corner of the screen. Of course, if it's just blinking at you, you're not going to know what the heck it's trying to tell you. What you have to know are the DOS commands. And one of the first DOS commands is time. So all it is just printing in the word T-I-M-E, and then hitting the Enter key. You always hit the Enter key right after any command that you put in. That way the computer registers it in its mind to know that it's time to make a decision. In this case, the decision is to bring up the correct time. So this evening, of course, it's 8 o'clock right now, so we'll put in military time. It goes in military hours, the 24-hour clock, and we'll put in 20 and then a colon, and then 00. The clock will actually go down into hundredths of a second. However, when you start your computer, you don't have to put in the hundredths of a second, of course. So you just put 20 colon 00 and enter. Now it has registered the time inside the computer's memory. This is really important when you're, say, doing documents and doing files that are time sensitive. So if we went back and saw what time it was, T-I-M-E again, it says right up at the top there that we've got it's 8 o'clock and 14 seconds into 8 o'clock. And the same with the date. All you have to do with the date is just put in D-A-T-E and then enter. Comes up, current date is Tuesday the 1st, January the 1st, 1980. That's what we call a default. If you don't have a clock card in your computer that keeps the date inside, then you'll have to, every time you turn on the computer, make sure that the date is entered in correctly. So today's date will be 09, we'll use a -21-90. And that tells us that today's date, of course, is entered now because I hit the return key or the enter key into the computer's memory. So now any documents that I create and save or copy onto a disk will have that date and that time on it. This gets really important when you're dealing, like I say, with time-sensitive documents. What we're going to do right now is probably the most confusing part for the new user. And that is simply to divide up the memory in the computer so that you can save particular files in the computer's memory. So what we're going to do is called making directories. In order to make a directory, it's just like the branch off of a tree, if you will. And what this branch is like a little room that you can store different programs in. So this way the computer doesn't get cluttered with all of the programs all in one place. So in this case, what we're going to do is we're going to make a directory, and all you have to do is use MD. M stands for make, D stands for directory. So make directory space, we'll call it TV show. So this is where we can put all of the material from the television show into this directory. So make directory space TV show. Now all I have to do is hit enter, and inside the computer, because we have the capabilities of storing all of the memory inside the computer with a hard drive, then it just made a new branch or a new room for the TV show. Now what we want to do is we want to move into that room. So what we want to do is change directory. So by changing the directory, all we have to do is put in CD space TV show. And what that does is that moves us from where we started off with at the root of the tree, if you will, and moves us into the TV show room. So we hit enter and it comes up on the screen, TV show. Now, all of the information that we have that is pertinent to, say, the TV show, we would then move and copy everything into that directory. It's very important to know where you are when you're doing the copying of directories and copying of files, because when you first start off with your computer system, I found a lot of people put everything into the main directory, which is what we call the root directory. That's where all of the information is stored that is pertinent to your computer starting up and your computer working. However, after the computer starts working, then you want to move into a directory, so you build a different room. Now, once you've done that, then you want to, let's say, put information onto a diskette. For people that are just starting out, this can be a little confusing also. However, it's very simple. When you get a box of diskettes from the store, what you have to do is format those diskettes. All this means is that you're making the diskette ready for use in the computer system. So all you have to do is type in the word format, F-O-R-M-A-T, space A colon. Now, what the A colon stands for is changing the drive type. In this particular computer, we've got one floppy drive, that's what the disks go into, and we have one hard drive. Now, the hard drive is just like having 30 disks all stacked up in one pile in one little compartment. So this gives us 30 times more capacity, or 100 times more capacity than just having the regular floppy disk. So what we wanted to do is to format A, so that means the floppy disk. So you take the floppy disk, insert it into A, and then hit enter, and then it would say strike enter when ready. So it says insert new diskette for drive A and strike enter when ready. So this makes it very easy for you in order to start using your computer system. You've got the time in there, you've got the date, you've now changed directories and made directories. Now we've also learned how to format. I'm not going to continue with that because it takes a little too much time, so we'll go back to the beginning. Another interesting command, as you see, there's a lot of information on the screen right now. An easy way to clear off all that information is simply to put in CLS. And what that stands for is clear screen. So we put in CLS and then enter, and that clears off everything that we have on the screen, so that way we can look at something that's a little more organized. In this case, what we're going to do now is I'm going to show you how to move from the TV show back to what we call the root directory. Okay, for anybody that's new with this, like I say, this could be the most confusing part. However, once you get used to it and have done it a few times, it's just like driving a stick shift on a car. You know, it's a little hard in the beginning to match the brake and the clutch and the gas and the steering and all that. However, after a while, it becomes second nature. That's the same way that a computer is utilized, because it seems so confusing right off the bat. However, once you get into it, it is really basic and really easy. So what we're going to do is change the directory and go back to the root directory. That means the beginning. And we're going to use CD again for change directory. And in this case, we're going to use a backslash. It's very important that you know the difference between backslash and forward slash. The backslash is signified like this, and the front slash is signified like that. In this particular case, we're going to use the backslash, and this will take us right back to the main directory of the computer system. So that took us out of the room where we had the TV show, moved us back to the main part of the memory called the root. Now, another command that's very important is directory. That's signified by dir. Now, dir simply stands for directory, and that's one of the first things that you want to do when you have a new diskette, because directory actually means opening up the book to see the table of contents, to see exactly what is in there. And all we have to do is press dir, which we have, and enter. Holy moly. Okay, did you all catch all that? Okay, what was the third file from the top? You couldn't see it because it went by too fast, right? So what we have to do now is slow it down a bit and use dir, and then we'll use a front slash, and we'll use a P there. P stands for page or pause. So this means what this means is that it will read one page at a time. So as opposed to all the files going all the way by you so you can't see them, they will stop when you've hit one page, and then strike a key when ready. And what this does is the furthest left column gives you all the directories, so all the different rooms that you've made in your computer system. In the middle, it gives you what the extension is, or it signifies if it is a directory. Then you have the date. Remember the date. Remember when we were talking about in the beginning, putting the date and the time in. This is where you'd be able to see the document that you wrote, say, on the third month, the third day of 1990. And then the next column is the time. So you can actually narrow everything down to the minute. This is probably one of the greatest advantages of having a computer, is that the time sensitivity and knowing exactly what happened and when it happened, very important for business, of course, for meetings and things along that line. However, in your everyday life, if you're doing your finances, you want to know what you did in certain months. So right down the bottom it says strike a key when ready, and there we go. Gives us the next page. If you notice, too, right in the middle of the screen it says auto exec. It's got three types of files: a BAK, which stands for backup, a BAT, which stands for batch, and the BF, which stands for another backup file. So what these commands mean are that the three letters at the end are what we call the extension. The first 8 letters are called the file name. So I hope I'm not going too fast here for anybody, but you can tape us on Sunday if you missed any of these parts. We're on Sunday at 4 o'clock, so if you didn't have your VCR on, you can retape them and then go over them. And what those files do are certain things within the programs, and that we'll have to get into a little later. Now, we'll strike another key, and that will give us the rest of our file. Down the bottom, you'll notice it says 57 files. So that means that in the root directory, or in the main room of the computer, we have 57 files. And right next to it, it tells us we have 1,144,832 bytes free. For those people that are new to computers, bytes simply mean characters. So if you think about it in the way of having a 20-page letter, you've got a lot of characters in there, spaces and periods and capital letters and small letters. Each one of those is very close to being the same as a byte of information. So if you have a 20-page letter, you can imagine how many bytes of information that is to the computer. So in this case, we have 1,144,832 bytes left, or free, that I can use. So I can add more files onto my hard drive. Having a hard drive, it makes it a lot easier for you because you can store, like I say, 100 disks in that one area. The next thing that we're going to do, you see down at the bottom there where it says TV show as the directory. What I'm going to do right now is I'm going to remove that directory, because sometimes you have to clean your computer up and take some files out and move files around. So the next command we're going to learn is remove directory. And yes, it is as simple as RD space TV show. So that, you do that, hit enter, and then when we do another directory, we'll notice that down at the bottom there is no TV show room there. So quickly to recap, to make a directory, it's MD space TV show, enter. That makes your directory, or makes the room that you want to put your files into. Then you can change to that directory, CD space TV show, enter, and that changes you to that room. CD backslash takes you back to the main room, being the root directory. So you hit enter, CD backslash, and then to remove the directory, it's RD space TV show. So now what we have learned is how to make a directory, how to change to that directory, how to change to the root directory, and how to remove that directory in case you want to delete any of the files in there. We've also learned how to format a disk. Very simple, just to go over it. Format space A:, and that usually will take care of all your formatting of your floppy disks and will allow you to insert a new diskette in drive A and strike enter when ready. So if you're just tuning into Hamilton's Computer Lifestyles, we'd like to welcome you into the show, and we're teaching all about computers. Very basic, very simple. These are the beginning commands of using your computer. We'll go over the next section next week, and now we'll go off and see what's happening in the computer industry, and we'll see an interview right now. We're here with Leanne Polkinghorn, and she's one of the computer students at Westmount Secondary. Leanne, what types of things do you do with your computer?
Just making up programs. That's about it.
Yeah, what types of programs have you designed?
Figure out bank statements and centigrade values and Fahrenheit values.
Do you think that it's increased your grade percentage by being able to use the computer?
Probably will, yeah.
Do you do any of your homework assignments and essays on the computer here?
No. Usually I do it on typewriter at home.
Good stuff. Thanks a lot, Leanne. This is Todd Dowd, the creator of the animation package that we just saw. Todd, how do you like using the computers in school?
Not bad. Lots of fun.
How long have you been working with the computer now?
About 2 years.
You find a lot of applications that you're using in school will, say, carry on into your life?
It's possible.
In this class that we're in right now, this is a computer language class, so you're learning all about programming and everything along that line?
Yeah, all that stuff.
Good stuff. Thanks a lot, Todd. We're here with Paul Brown. This is Paul Brown's first year as a teacher. Paul, how do you see computers interacting in education from your first year of being involved in the educational system?
From what I've seen and observed, computers do play a major role in the development and the skill and ease for a student to learn something. It gives them the chance to learn things, compute things, work with their hands, work with their fingers, and to understand computer knowledge and computer languages.
Do you feel it helps a student to increase his grade percentage by utilizing the computer for his studies, say essays and different projects that they're working on?
Definitely, definitely. With word processing and other skills which are there, it just, how can I put it? It makes them feel more confident in knowing that they can type it out, work it out, understand it, can shift around paragraphs and things like that. You know, it's basic newspaper type style and journalism.
Fantastic. How has the Board of Education, say, helped you with, as being a teacher, your first year, getting involved in curriculums and scheduling and, say, lesson plans and all that? How has the Board of Education been able to help you with, say, using the computers?
They've provided me with books and lecture materials that I can actually study myself and learn and understand. I find it quite useful, quite helpful. I grew up through the age when computers were just being introduced, so it's always been a catch-up, but the board has provided me with the necessary information.
So you feel then as a teacher that, say, the Board of Education is doing their best to enable you to utilize the computer technology?
They're doing the best to help me, yes. If I need more information, I can always go back to them and they will provide it for me. They're offered to give me workshops and training sessions, but yes, I can't say there's been any problems or anything like that.
Fantastic. I know there's a lot of teachers that some want to learn and some don't want to learn, and you as a new teacher, I think it's fantastic that you're getting involved in computers.
I'm having a good time with it. I would insist that anyone who's just trying to figure it out that they do it, because it will be a helpful role to them later on.
Thank you very much, Paul Brown.
Thank you.
Wow, did you see that effect?
Yeah, there you go, Rick. You're doing great.
Yeah, Rick's learning how to use the digital video effects machine. This is great.
Teach me all this stuff too.
Many thanks go out to the people at Westmount Secondary School. We took that footage back last year and weren't able to put it into the schedule, but we should be using that and going around to a few different schools.
Yeah, there was 2 that we didn't get a chance to go to last year, so we'll be getting back in touch and doing
it's
them.
a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Seeing exactly what everybody's using using in the schools today. Actually, we've got some interesting news coming up about the school programs and how you can get computers for your school.
Yeah, we'll be in explaining all that.
Yeah.
I think maybe we should go to a call that we have. Derek is on the line. He was nice and early, so I think we'll talk to him. Derek? Hello?
Oh.
How you doing?
Oh, not too bad.
Good. What can we help you with, Guy?
I was just wondering if you're going to be doing anything on communications and BBS at all, anytime.
Actually, that's a very interesting thing that you asked that right now. The last Friday of every month, we are going to actually have people in here that are system operators, SISOPs, working the modem.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, so that people can call in on the modem all through the entire show, every Friday, the last Friday of every month.
Well, that sounds interesting because I think I'm probably one of the youngest SysOps in Hamilton. I'm 13.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Good for you. Maybe we can get you to come in for the first time.
How long have you been doing this, Derek?
I don't know, probably, I think 2 years now.
Yeah, way to go.
Excellent. Well, what we'd like to do is get back to you and make sure that you get on the show.
Okay, I'd sort of like that.
Yeah.
What type of system do you use?
Amiga 2000.
Excellent.
Nice
So,
machine.
yep, you can have all the people transmitting on the Amiga. Excellent.
really good.
Thanks a lot, Derek. So I hope that answered your question, and we'll be in touch with you.
Okay,
Do you have another question?
okay, no, it's just one thing. Like I gave them like my BBS number.
Right?
So,
What's the name of your bulletin board?
Starship Amiga.
Starship Amiga. What types
Okay.
of things do you have on your bulletin board?
Just a bunch of FidoNet, really starting to get that in, and then a bunch of message bases and some files for some computers.
Excellent. For the other people that don't know what a computer bulletin board system is, what it is, it's just like a telephone service, and you can just call in, leave messages, and transfer data back and forth.
So how many people do you think that you have on your bulletin board right now?
Well, probably about 100 or so now.
Really? That's excellent. That really is, Derek. Especially for, you said you were 13?
Yep.
Very good. Very
Excellent.
good.
So we'll have you on the show. How do you feel about coming on to the show?
I'd like that a lot.
Good. You know what I'd like you to do too is call back to the station and leave your home number for us too.
Okay.
Okay, and then we'll be back in touch with you definitely, if not by the end of this week, next week for sure. Okay?
Okay.
Okay, but nice talking to you.
Okay, thanks a lot.
Okay, bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye for now.
That's pretty cool. 13 years old, and that's good. This is what we want, is we want the kids calling in, because there's so many of them out there that are progressing so fast with it, and putting the bulletin boards for a 13-year-old kid, that's good. That's really great.
Excellent. Our children really pick up on this a lot faster. You know how many parents we've talked to saying, I don't know anything about it, my children are coming home talk to me in this foreign language. So well, for you parents out there, what we recommend is the Computer Dictionary Handbook.
It will explain each and every.
And when you're talking to your child, you can be flipping through.
Now, what did you say?
Yes, processing programs, I see.
Yeah.
Processing programs actually accomplish work such as updating inventory records, preparing reports, and compiling new programs.
Yeah, that book's very good because it'll explain each area of the computer and that to you. We have a little bit of viewer mail that we received this week also, and they're inquiring about our public domain softwares, and what we'd like to do is say thank you for sending a self-addressed and stamped envelope to us, and we'll be sure to get you the list mailed out right away. And anyone else out there that has questions in that, please write in, and we'll be more than happy to help you. And we'll talk some more too about the trading post also later on. Okay?
Yeah, that's great. There's also one piece of mail in there from B Keen. Did you see that?
Yes, I didn't really get a chance to read that
from
one
the power supply people.
Okay.
They have what they have are like mini mobile computer places that they drive around. If your computer goes down, like if it's a big computer and the whole company is running on it.
Oh, is that last year you were at the Toronto exhibition, wasn't it? That you met those people? Yeah. Oh, okay.
So when, say, a fire or a flood or some emergency happens to your computer system, they just wheel in this brand new computer system. Everybody moves from the company into the trailer, keep working because you just put all the data in there, and keep working while they fix the computer systems.
Excellent. No, I didn't know what that was from.
Yeah. It's really, really neat stuff.
Super.
Any parents that didn't watch the show last week, by the way, if you're flipping through the stations, it should be about that time again. We're Mark and Ruth Ann Ironside. We're with Cable 14, teaching people about using computers. And parents that are out there, if you have children that are using the computer or using it for a game or educational packages or whatever the case may be, we'd like you to know what programs they're using, and then we'll bring them down onto one of the shows and actually have them working the computer program for everybody to see. We've got the computer now hooked up directly through the main switcher board, they call it, and makes it really great for everybody to see all these neat programs that are going on.
That's good.
Your turn.
Oh, yes. I think we want to talk a little bit about this contest, actually, that we had mentioned last week, and it's called Computers for Kids, and it's for the schools. What it is all the parents and kids go into your parents' cupboards and cut off all those little UPCs that you see on the boxes and your cereal boxes and flour, and take them into your school, because there's a contest on. Well, I guess it's a contest. We're getting all the information. We've spoken to them this week, and they're getting in touch with us next week. Hopefully we can have one of the representatives down here on the show, and it's going to, each UPC that you send in, I believe it goes towards the purchase of a computer for your school. So I think this is a great way. Let's get a contest going here with all the schools in Hamilton, because we have a fair amount of them, and I believe there's 17 schools right now in Hamilton that have started to send these in, and we're getting the statistics, I hope by next week, from Computer for Kids, and we'll be able to start giving you the tallies on them and who is sending in the most, and let's get out there and start helping each other to do it for the schools, because it's really important for the school systems to have the computers, and I think we should have one computer for every child that's out there. It's really important. So,
for those of you that didn't understand what a UPC is, because when you first said UPC, I was thinking, well,
oh, that's okay. Last week I was trying to remember what UPC was. Was it PCU or CPU or? I know what it is. I go grocery shopping.
Yeah, too much of this computer stuff, eh? UPC, CPU, AB, CGA, MGA, PPA. What it is the barcode part that they put over the scanner. The part that has all the little numbers and the bars on it.
Yeah.
All you have to do is just cut those out. And what they actually do is they send home what they call a family package, and it explains how it works. And there's some of the main people that are involved in there are Commodore, IBM, Epson, Atari.
Those are the possibilities of computers that you can win.
Right.
But the UPCs, excuse me, that you have to collect are from Palmolive or Fleecy Royale, Highliners, Dips, those granola bars, Colgate tubes and pumps, Farmer's Shake, Ovaltine, Dr. Pepper and 7-Up. There's a whole list of them, and you should be able to call your school and find out more information from them. Plus they have packages that they send home with the children for the parents. So it's really important, kids and parents out there, get in touch with your elementary schools, because these schools have all the information on it. And if they haven't started the program, start encouraging them right now, because it's going to help your family and yourself, especially your kids. So let's get ourselves rolling and let's get this thing going.
We could actually be #1, you know.
We could.
Hamilton.
We could.
Because it just got
no
started
reason why
2
not.
weeks ago.
Yes,
2 weeks
on the
ago.
12th, I believe it was.
And we could get the whole cheerleading staff
Yes, we
here.
can get Hamilton.
Number
This is
one,
across
number
Ontario,
one,
by the
number
way.
one. Yes, all
Yeah.
across. They've got 2,000
Yes.
schools so far that have joined up for this.
And we only got 17 from Hamilton.
Yeah, it's, some of the schools that have gotten involved in this so far
Started
are
entering.
Cardinal Heights, George L. Armstrong, Hampton Heights, Hess Street Junior School, Holbrook Junior School, Rydell, Richard Beasley, Ridgemount, Rosedale, Rickman's Corners, Tweedsmuir, Vernames, Viscount, Montgomery, Westwood, Woodward, St. Anne's, and St. Martin's. And, I mean, we've got way more schools than that.
I believe so.
Yeah, so we should make sure that all the schools have all the information. There's also a phone number that you can phone for the parents that are interested in getting involved. And if you've got a pen handy, it's 581-1730. And area code 416 you have to call.
This is really exciting. This is exciting because it's an encouragement, and all of these people are behind it. And the computers, you've got your Commodores and Ataris and IBMs. Everybody is putting in on this. So they're the companies that are going to be giving the computers away. And all you have to do is save that UPC, and it's like no problem.
Yeah.
A lot of homes have them, a lot.
Yeah. What they do is they accumulate the points, and then once they get a certain amount of points, then they go.
That's their first one?
Right.
Okay, well, this is the information that we're collecting from the organization we were talking to. So we'll have more statistics on it next week, and hopefully we can have someone here on the show that will explain it more to us.
So that
it's
our
a
schools can
fantastic
get
idea.
more computers.
Well, like I said last week, but I won't mention it again. Let's do it ourselves. It's no problem.
Well, I think, you know, do it every week, and that way everybody knows about it.
Yeah, well,
if anybody has any questions about computers and stuff, give us a call. I think the number's down there, 645-3232, and we can help you answer questions.
Yeah.
If not, then we're going to talk to you all night, because we've got lots of stuff to talk to you about. I don't know if you read in the paper the other day, this is really, really exciting. Seniors tap into computer world. A lot of people think that I'm too old to learn about a computer. How many people have we heard say that?
Oh, we've heard
I'm too old for that.
Well, that's
Yeah.
their thoughts. That's
Yeah,
fine.
okay. But you're never too old, because it's a lot of fun once you get into it. And a lot of people don't really know what they're missing by saying, oh no, you know, I don't want to have anything to do with it, you know, like, you know, fathers and stuff like that, you know, say, no, I haven't, you know, don't want to get involved. But what it says, talking about people, I'm taking the course because I want to understand what my family and friends are talking about, and that's computers. And here's Myra Cates, she's 58 years old, and Max Hager, 67, feels inadequate when people discuss computers. Now, that's a normal feeling, because it's almost like a new language.
It is a new language.
Yeah, for sure.
You're
And
doing
they've even got
RD
a whole
and
dictionary.
MD and FC and it's a whole new language, and that's the whole idea. If you have a book, and each software program that you have, it explains it though. But it's you have to have at the beginning. Yeah, you cannot jump halfway through there. But eventually, slowly, I know with me learning the computer, it was difficult to learn it and understand it because of the language, but I can have a conversation and I can listen to the conversations and understand what it is that they're talking about. But to sit down and do it is another thing. You have to keep practicing, so. But it's not as hard as it looks.
Yeah. I feel at a loss like a person who can't read or write. Now that I'm retired and have the time, I'm determined to at least get the basics of a computer. It's something you have to apply your mind to, and I find it very intriguing.
I'm sorry, what was that gentleman's name last year? And he wrote the little story about the toy.
Kelvin Keyhole.
And that was great.
Yeah.
And he was, I'm not sure of his age, but he was retired. And once he got onto the computer, and it's his friend, because he can do so many things with it and make up the birthday cards and
banners and letters
name tags and so on and so forth, because those are the fun little things that you can do too. It's not that you have to sit there and input information and
yeah, it's not just a financial calculator.
Yeah.
A lot of people think.
Okay, I think we have another call. Peter? Oops. Okay.
Yes, Peter isn't there.
Okay.
Hello, dial tone.
So, okay.
Comdex is coming up. Anybody that is interested in seeing what's happening in the world of computers, I know a lot of the computer people will be down at this in Las Vegas. It's on November the 12th to the 16th. So if you're just going to happen to be in Vegas that weekend or week, then make sure to hit that, because they have over 1,700 exhibitors this year. So it's like the Toronto show that we went to last year and did all the interviews. They've got 1,700 people down there with new products for the computer industry that they unveil every year. 1,700.
It'll be a lot. Take a
Be walking
2 or
like
3 days. Yeah. Quickly. Okay, I think we're going to visit Dr. Computer right now.
Yeah,
Where's your shoe phone?
Yeah, upgrading a computer.
Yeah,
the AT.
it's good. Here you go. Another step in the process.
Last time we talked about upgrading your XT to an AT by, first of all, changing the motherboard. The next step in improving your machine and making it capable of matching the performance of current machines is to change the power supply. We have here a 200-watt power supply. That's more or less the standard in an AT machine these days. If you have a 150-watt power supply in your XT, you don't have to change it. It's sufficiently powerful to handle just about any load you can put onto the board. However, there's a lot out there, a lot of machines that have 130-watt or even 65-watt power supplies. Now, it's dead easy to change the power supply in these things. There's really only 2 major connections. These go to the motherboard, and each of these, they're all identical, go to the peripheral devices, the floppy drive, the hard disk drive, maybe a tape controller card, whatever you have. And this is how easy it is to change the power supply. 4 screws. Get that last one out. There we go. 2 connections to the motherboard, off, and wherever you see a connection onto a peripheral device. That's a hard disk, and that's a floppy disk drive connector. And that's off. And the replacement power supply is in after 1, 2 connections to the motherboard. These connections are standard. In it goes. There we go. Okay. Great. And connections to the hard disk drive and the floppy disk drive, like so. And then just put the screws in the back and you're all set. 200 watt power supply. We're halfway there, Mark.
Back to us. So Dr. Computer was replacing a power supply.
Yes.
Do you know why you have to replace a power supply?
Why? This is like preventative maintenance or upgrading or?
Yeah, it's upgrading the system.
Okay.
When you put in additional cards into the computer system, it takes more wattage.
Right, okay.
And what you do is you put in, take say 100, a lot of them were 65 watts, you have to put in a 150 watt power supply to be able to handle all the other added cards that you put in the computer.
Okay. So these are the little things that people should know anyway when they're doing these types of things. Well, they would if they want to upgrade them. I'm sure that they understand.
Well, yeah,
that.
but however, a lot of people don't do a lot of that type of thing, and that also helps speed up the computer system too. Just a touch, and then you know, as you go on, you just keep upgrading and upgrading and upgrading,
Right.
and then you have a new system.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. You want to go to our next caller?
Okay. It's up to you.
Hi, Peter.
Oh,
Hi. How you doing?
is this Ruth Ann?
Yes, it is.
I call you Ruth Ann, do you?
Yes,
Yeah.
they do.
I wanted to ask a question.
Yes.
It's about your dictionary that you had in front of you. Where can I get a copy of that?
Probably any college store, college, university. You should be able to pick it up.
Yeah, it's done. It's 3rd edition of the computer dictionary and handbook, Sipple and Sipple.
I would check out the colleges and university libraries first, and if you don't, you should have luck there. So
and if not,
after that, it's like go to the bookstores and inquire through them.
The 3rd edition is the latest one.
it may not be. I've had this one for a while.
Yeah, there might be others.
If you want to contact, if you have a pen, do you have a pen handy there, Pete?
Yeah.
Okay, here.
Howard, okay, it's Howard W. Sams and Company, and that's 4300 West 62nd Street, Indianapolis, Indiana.
Okay.
And it's 46268. And you know that's the
Indiana
U.S.
wants me.
Okay, but you can always give us a call back and let us know if you've had any luck.
Okay, keep up the good work. You might be picked up on CBC one day or something.
Thanks a lot.
Yes, into
Thanks
the
a lot,
syndicated
Peter.
world. Thanks a lot.
Bye-bye. Hi, Ken.
Hello,
Hi, how you doing this evening?
Self.
Good.
I was wondering if you could help me. I've got a Epson printer and a PS2 computer, and I want to send commands to the printer, but I have to use the escape character. And in DOS 4, I don't know if you're familiar with it.
I haven't worked with it extensively, no, but keep going.
Okay, they have a text editor, Edlin,
Right.
and it says in manuals that it will accept the escape character. I think it's Control Z, and it's supposed to give you the escape character, and then you can send the commands to the printer. But I can't get it. It won't give me the escape character.
You're just trying to do this from DOS, right? Have you tried? Did you try to do a print screen? Have you done a print screen?
Now the print screen, the escape character doesn't come up. It's Control Z.
Okay, on your, on your keyboard though, you've got a print screen character, right? Or key?
Yeah.
Have you tried using the Shift key in the print screen?
No, I haven't.
Yeah, that may be an easy way for you to see if it's working, and at least to see if the printer is accepting the character. If not, you have to get involved in what we call a printer string. And this is a bunch of characters to tell the computer or tell the printer exactly what type of characters you're sending to the printer. What type of word processing packages are you using?
I've got WordPerfect and I've got Works as well.
Okay, usually in there they will, the program itself will set up the printer string for you. When you go to do your setup, have you done a setup with your Works package?
Yeah, it's in the setup disk.
Okay, have you tried to set it up properly to send characters to the printer yet?
Yeah, I haven't used it that way. I've been trying to do it from DOS.
Yeah, you may find it a little easier to do it from the actual setup program because it puts the printer string right in there. It tells the computer exactly what to emulate, what they call emulation. So try it that way. If that doesn't work, I'll have to get a little bit more familiar with DOS 4 and then give you the actual string for the actual computer and printer that you're using.
Yeah, I'll try that.
Okay.
Thanks very much.
You're welcome.
You're welcome. Okay.
Yeah, it's always interesting, you know, trying to get the printer to work. Never
Oh, I
forget
know. I
starting
remember the
with
first
this
time. Okay, Jerry?
The hammer versus computer syndrome.
Yeah. Hi, Jerry.
Hi, how are you doing?
Good. How about yourself?
Not bad.
Good.
Okay, to start off with, I have a Tandy 1400 HD with a 2400 baud modem, and software that I use is like Telex, Procom, or Telemate. Now the problem I'm having with it is I can't get remote users to shell into my DOS. I keep getting a write fault, error writing COM2, yet the same software works on other computers.
That may have to do with, number one, the setup of how you've got the program set up. I know this is really complex stuff when you get involved in telecommunications because it works with what they call protocol. And you have to have the character set up properly. Now, I'm not the right one for you to talk about with this. We're going to have other people on the show that are going to be telecommunications specialists that will be talking about those types of things in detail. What I'd like to do, though, is, you know, maybe we can get back to you and find the answer to your particular question, and then we can announce the answer next week.
Yeah, or find out maybe someone that he can speak to, too, because it sounds like, I know once you get on the computer and you start trying to figure everything out, you want to do it right away, so yeah, we can do that.
Which package are you having a hard time with, Procom or all of them?
It's all three of them.
All three of them?
Yeah.
Okay, so there may be something with your communications port that you have to set up, maybe a jumper or something along that line, and like I say, it may take a little bit of technical, it takes definitely a lot of technical knowledge about telecommunications and stuff. So sorry we can't help you with that one, but we can get the answer for you.
Okay.
Okay.
Thanks.
You're welcome. Yeah, there's so much to that telecommunications stuff, you know, because what it does is the signal goes out through the line and then comes back again. And what he was talking about was baud.
Yes.
B-A-U-D. And what that means is the speed of how fast the signal goes back and forth.
And he's got the 2400.
2400. It goes 1200, 2400, 48. They've got 9600 and then higher too. Pretty neat, eh?
Yeah, it is.
Complex stuff.
Yeah. Still learning. Hey, okay, Dave.
Hello.
Hi. How you doing tonight?
Fine. The other day we had a problem with ours. We turned it on, and it came up disk bad, push F1. We pushed F1, and it came up abort try and fail.
Right.
And pushed the abort a couple of times, pushed the retry a couple of times, nothing happened. Pushed fail, and what was it again? It come up. Oh yeah, it come up E drive. I'm trying to talk to my wife at the same time.
Yeah, no problem. Now you've got a hard drive on your computer?
Yes.
And did you have a disk in the disk drive?
No, we did not.
And it came up disk failure. Okay. How long have you had your computer?
Just over a year.
Okay, maybe what's happening is there's a problem when you first start. Now, this only happened when you just first started your computer, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Have you done what they call a compress? Have you compressed your hard disk?
Yes, we have.
Okay, so
That's cleaned it up.
yeah, that would have cleaned it up a bit. And maybe what you might want to do is get a disc technician type program. They're available on the public domain market, or I think you can pick them up for like $39 or something like that. What it does is it actually goes into the hard drive and makes sure that all of the magnetism on the hard drive is very strong. Any magnetism that isn't very strong, then it takes it and puts it to the side type thing. Because what's happening is your command that makes your computer work is maybe getting a little weak.
Huh. Okay.
So,
is there anything other than Norton?
Oh yeah, there's Norton, there's PC Tools, there are one package called Disk Technician that actually tells you it's made for that specific purpose, to make sure that your hard disk doesn't get weak in certain areas.
Okay, thank you very much.
You're welcome.
No problem.
Bye for now.
Bye.
Yeah, and that happened to us actually last year on the show.
Yes,
Remember?
And we thought that the hard drive crashed.
Yeah.
Yes, I remember really well. I remember just a week or two ago, though, that you were doing that same thing with the hard drive, and it took like 3 hours, about 3 hours to clear it all out and get all the bad sectors over to the one side. And it's interesting. It's really interesting. This is where people, if they're in the conversations and they don't understand about computer, it sounds so foreign. It really sounds foreign. So that's where you have to get that comfort zone with a computer and then start growing up from there with it. Yeah. Because it really is.
That's what you do with your with the dictionary. You know, have that great big dictionary in your side pocket. You know.
Yeah.
Then you can talk to any computer people. Right? Yeah. What did you say again?
Yeah. I think we should maybe mention something about the trading post.
Oh yeah.
And about people, if you have old computers that you're wanting to purchase a new one and you don't know what to do with this one, we have our trading post now with Hamilton's Computer Lifestyles, and we want you to write us in and give us all the pertinent information, what type it is, whether it has a hard drive, 2 floppies, whatever. And you have to remember that you have a going price for it, and there was some ideas. I was reading an article a while ago about the people that are selling their computers, to be sure that you have someone that is purchasing it, that you give them an idea or a basis of how to use this, because a lot of the times you'll get someone that wants to buy a computer but they're not going to, or they cannot afford to buy a brand new one. So if they buy a second-hand one, we had that problem last year actually. There was a gentleman that called up and he had bought a computer for his grandchild. And I can't remember the name of it, but it was a very unusual. And he didn't know anything about computers, and it ended up that it didn't work at all. And that's really too bad, because when you get something like that and you don't understand, it's nice if the people on the other end are plug it in, show them how you boot it up and so on and so forth. And then there was some ideas for the buyers, is just compare prices on second-hand computers and barter a little bit. There's no problem with bartering. It's good. It's good. And what you also have to understand, though, for the buyer is that the computers drop in price. The people that are selling them know that if they spend $1,000 last year, that they will get a certain amount this year, but they won't get the full amount of $1,000 for their used computer. So it's you have a few different things that you have to look for, and never take anything that is not tested. So, okay, I think we have another call. Jim?
Hello?
Hi, how you doing tonight?
Oh, fine, thank you. Yourself?
Great, thanks. What can we help you with?
I was just wondering if I could ask a question. I, about a month ago, purchased a Logitech mouse.
Right.
And I installed it, and everything ran flawlessly for about 2 weeks. But I'm running into a problem where sometimes when I start the computer and reboot it, mouse driver's lost, and I can also lose it sometimes while I'm actually in it, like even within the DOS shell. And I've checked all my files, and everything there seems to be okay. I was just wondering, could it be something like a problem maybe with the actual serial port? It just seems to be losing the mouse on the test and tutorials. It seems to be like everything fine. It just refers to the COM port that it's on, but I've checked that, and that seems okay. I'm just sort of at a loss.
Are you using an adapter?
An adapter?
Yeah, is there an adapter on the end of the mouse, like that you have to go through to get to the serial port?
Yeah, there is. I believe it's a gender adapter.
Right.
Okay.
And sometimes that gets loose, and that may cause it to drop off. The other thing may be, have you put your mouse driver in your autoexec.bat file?
Yes, it's in the path.
Okay.
There's also, like, you know, the mouse lodge menu and click.
Right.
Okay, and that seems to work fine. It's just that you just lose it, like it just stops.
That sounds really strange. How old is your computer?
Just recently purchased about 3 months ago.
Okay, so it shouldn't be chips or anything like that.
Matter of fact, I took it in to have it looked at, and they replaced the RAM chips, I guess. And again, it seemed to work fine for a little while, and then the same problems came back.
After they replaced the RAM chips, though, it worked all right for a little while again.
For a little while, it worked okay, and I'm just wondering, like, I'm really at a loss here about what it could be.
Well,
Yeah,
they
you'd have to
replaced the
run
RAM
tests.
chips too. Yeah, and then it ran okay. Remember that we had met someone else a while ago too that had a mouse and everything was fine on the computer, and then it ended up being the adapter. So I'm just thinking maybe there's some kind of a short or something in the adapter, possibly too.
Because it does seem like it's losing contact with the mouse itself.
Yeah.
So it's still recognizing that the driver's there and that the communications port is still there.
Correct. Like, even when you go back to, like, the DOS, it says like the driver's already, like, installed, but it's not working.
Right. It may be because those wires on the ends of the mouse are
very
really,
fine.
really fragile. And I've had problems with ours that way too.
Okay, so maybe it'd be an idea if I just change the adapter.
Yeah,
Change
just
the
try
adapter.
that first.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, that's what I'll...
You never know.
Okay, thanks very much, and it's a great show.
Thanks a lot, Jim.
Okay, bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Yeah, that's actually, for the people that don't understand what the heck we were talking about there, a mouse is a pointing device. It uses a little ball inside of it and just fits on your hand.
Yeah.
And you just roll it around and it makes a little pointer go around on the screen.
Yeah.
So you're able to
That's very,
click
very
and then it works. It's
popular
like
with
the
the
enter
Apple,
key.
right?
Very
the Apple
popular with
that's
the Apple.
basically how they run the apples, is just with the mouse all the time and click it and so on and so forth.
Point
So,
and click.
yeah, yep.
I've got something really interesting here for those adventurous types in Hamilton. This is a book that we got, University Software Resource Guide. And what this is Ventures Business Simulator. It gives a whole list of different programs that are available. To give you an idea, this is $69, okay? $69.95, okay? This is what you get. Dreaming of becoming the next Lee Iacocca? Ventures Business Simulator gives you $500,000 in fantasy startup capital.
Yes.
Oh, that's a drag.
And then you become the investor, correct?
That's right. Over 200 pages of online consulting data and 25 years to grow your company into a Fortune 100 multinational. Fun for would-be tycoons, a great learning tool for real entrepreneurs. Ventures Business Simulator includes state-of-the-art graphic analysis, supports all parallel printers, includes tutorial disc and 5 case studies and several levels of play. So, if
That's
you've
really
got
good.
your own business.
I was sitting down reading the booklet the other day from the kindergarten up to grade 5, I believe it was, and some of the programs or the ideas, just to do them out, the teachers, I'm really surprised. I don't know what they've got in
all these things.
Yeah,
you know?
some of them do. Some of them do. Some of them do.
Yeah.
But anyway, it's the night's gone along really quick. And we have Byte magazine to come, and we still have more on everything. And next
Pick
week
up
we're
your
going to
local
have
Byte thing. It's got histories on everything.
Yeah, next week we're going to have to tell you a whole bunch more of interesting new things that are happening on the market. And people, send in your letters. Let's get
Parents,
these.
send in things. Your children, we'd like to have them down to the
PCs,
studio and
kids, go and cut
do
them
their
out of your
favorite
mom and
games
dad's
stuff.
cupboards.
We
Don't
got
tell
too
them I
much to
told
say.
you them
We got
to
too
do
much
them.
to say. We need another hour.
JD, we'll see you in a while. Hi, Mom, Grandma.
Okay, we'll see you guys later.
Bye, guys.
Until next week, happy computing. Sunday, 4
Bye,
o'clock,
guys.
we're on again.